My name is Dan Conlin. I'm a historian and writer and retired museum curator. I've written a book called Pirates Atlantic, which looks at the reality of the pirates who actually came to Nova Scotia and how piracy has affected people living in our region. Nova Scotia and the Atlantic region attracted some of the biggest and the worst pirates of what we call the golden age of piracy in the early 1720s. They were attracted by the big offshore fishery in the region. They would come up from the Caribbean like clockwork almost every June. Big pirates like Bartholomew Roberts, who captured over 500 ships, made a spectacular raid in Cape Breton and Newfoundland in 1720, even raided shore settlements. And then Ned Lowe, vicious psychopath, came up here 2 seasons, 1722 and 1723. In the 18th century, there were a few female pirates, quite well-documented ones, and we have one in our own region in 1736, a woman named Susanna Buckler. And there were a handful. Piracy was almost all a male endeavor, but there were a few women. So in that period, piracy really was something that colonial governments weren't able to control. Governors were afraid of pirates. For about 2 decades, it was an annual scourge. You know, the main thing they came to for our region was recruits. There was more gold and silver in, say, West Africa or the Caribbean, but there were lots of unhappy fishermen who were not pleased with the contracts they were working, and they could easily be tempted to join a pirate crew. Weapons. Fishing boats were worried about pirate attacks, so they often had muskets and cannons, and the pirates would usually overwhelm those ships and rearm themselves. And they also always had a keen eye for a good large fishing vessel that they could dump their old ship and pick up a new one. In our region, piracy nowadays is mainly a thing of history and legend. But piracy continues today in parts of the world, and every year dozens of professional mariners are murdered by pirates. I really want people to understand that piracy is not just yo-ho-ho romantic myths. There were, in our region, real deadly pirates that came here in the 1720s. And although piracy faded from our region and became a once-a-generation thing, it's still an active, deadly thing in other parts of the world. People facing similar challenges to those fishermen in the 1720s off the coast of Nova Scotia. It's a subject that is mesmerizing in terms of its popular culture image, but let's not forget its deadly reality, and I hope people will take that away.